All right, we got to talk. It's not a Fats Radio regular episode. This is just one of these ad hoc things that I just needed to talk to you about. Nobody in particular, but if you're listening, thank you. I need to get off my chest. I need to speak. I needed to just rejoice, really, and then and thank the stars, thank God, thank Allah, thank Yahweh, thank whoever. And whatever, and at the same time, I want to thank my family and thank my friends and thank the world and thank myself because I think you need to do that sometimes. I know that sounds maybe crazy, but if you're maybe what you're doing sometimes is right, and if you're doing it, it's right, and maybe you don't need a reward, but maybe you just need to acknowledge it sometimes, and for whatever that means. I think you really need to show yourself love and you need to appreciate, and I'm just trying to appreciate it right now. The reason why I'm trying to show some appreciation and to show some love and the reason why I pressed record a second ago is because I just got off the phone with my doctor. Now, if anybody's been following me, and all four of you, thank you for your emails. I've been in this world of cancer, no cancer, what's going on, since 2013. So 2013, 2012, I got diagnosed with thyroid cancer, papillary thyroid carcinoma, PTC. Basically just means it's thyroid cancer on the outside of the thyroid, as opposed to the inside of the thyroid. Two little spots, one on each side. I had thyroid cancer, or I diagnosed with thyroid cancer. 6 months, no, sorry, not even 6 months later, a month and a half later, I had it removed. So it was diagnosed in 2013, sorry, but the process started in 2012. Had a sleep study done. Someone, the doctor checked my thyroid. Biopsy was 2013. Surgery was 2013. Thyroid removed. 18 or 19. I can't remember now. I think it was 2018. Excuse me. I'm just kind of excited. 2018, I found out through a biopsy that I had a lymph node that was cancer. Okay. That was scary. I can't remember 2018 or 19. I want to say 2018, maybe even 2017, probably 2018. Found out that there was a spot. Doctor referred me to, the reason why the doctor found out there was a spot, or the reason why we found out there was a spot is because the doctor realized or saw my blood work that the thyroid globulin, one of the markers, that's a tumor marker, was elevated. And showing that possible signs of a tumor. Okay, so we had a biopsy, and doctor said it was cancer. Recommend me to a surgeon. The surgeon said, "Okay, we recommend you have a neck dissection. Basically, cut this right side of my neck, open it up, scrape out all the lymph nodes they could find. Essentially, there's hundreds in there, I think, but scrape out a bunch of them. Sew me back up, and hopefully you don't have to have surgery again in a couple of years." Like, that's literally what the plan is. It's like, you hope you're okay, and then they monitor you. But then the more I realized, the more I researched it, and the more I read into it, I realized and I learned that every time you have surgery, there's more of a chance that it'll come back. I'm not saying that having surgery is bad. If you have to have surgery, do it. If it's the best decision for you, do it. I'm not judging anybody else's decision, by no means. Nor am I judging anybody else's plan or methodology on how they want to treat. I'm just talking about me. That's all, right? Okay. So, Carlo, by the way, I do have a name. So, what am I talking about? The doctor said we should have surgery to remove this because it's cancer. I mean, every time the doctor hears cancer, anytime anybody hears cancer, the idea usually is to take it out. But right there is when I started thinking, what's going on? This was already after I've lost 100 pounds. It must be 2018. And I was feeling better than I've ever felt my whole entire life. I, for the most part, kicked sugar completely, right? I still eat it sometimes. I'm human. I still eat sometimes. I still eat the food that that's not optimal for me. Not only sometimes, but I do eat it. Yeah, sometimes, I guess. But I wanted, what was I going to do, right? So my plan was that if I'm still healthy, not only still healthy, but if I'm healthier than I've ever been in my life, if I feel better than I've ever felt in my life, maybe I could just hold off. Maybe I didn't need the surgery. And that's my first thought. It was that, well, I don't want to do surgery. Not because I'm afraid to go under the knife. Yes, I'm afraid, but that's not the reason why. I do lots of things I'm afraid of, right? This first surgery was scary. I did that. I had surgery on my toe when I was a kid, in high school. That was, scary. So, but it's not that. I don't want to start the road of more surgeries. And I think that if once you have another surgery, even to my first surgery, increase the chance of another surgery, increase the chances of a recurrence of cancer. And for all I know, I don't know. There's a lot of crazy theories out there. There's a lot of crazy ideas out there that sometimes biopsies, when they go in for biopsies, that can spread it. When you go in for the one surgery, that can spread it. That statistically, that is true, that it can spread, and it has a higher probability of spreading once you have surgery. So, because of those reasons, I wanted to just hold off and say, just put the brakes. Let's see what's going on, and just continue doing what I'm doing, and let's active monitor, right? So my doctor, the nuclear medicine doctor, wasn't a huge fan of that. The surgeon wasn't a huge fan of that. But what are they going to say, right? They say, okay, sure, buddy. It's you, it's your life. We'll monitor. So this was 2018. I didn't remember the size, but it turns out that I do know the size now. But this was 2018 or 17. Must be 2018. So we monitored 6 months. Monitor 6 more months. A year later, this spot on my lymph node grew 3 millimeters. It was in 2 years since the time. I remember that. It was last year, grew 3 millimeters. And so I was like, well, when the doctor told me that, he said, okay, well, we should have surgery. I said, well, that's not very big, right? I still don't want to have surgery, but how is that relative to whatever? And it's hard to say, because if the tumor is 1.5 centimeters or whatever, which is not very big, right? But if it's grown 3 centimeters, or if it's grown 3 millimeters rather, if it's grown 1 millimeter rather, yes, that's very small. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not a specialist in cancer and in how it grows. But I'm not sure if that change is dangerous or whatever. Turns out that the surgeon said, in his opinion, it's not a big growth. That's not a fast growth, and is very kind of stable. My blood markers were very stable. And this was last year, the surgeon. I talked to the surgeon, I talked to my nuclear medicine doctor. This is what it was. In August of last year, I didn't have a scan in August, I don't think. I gotta check back again. But now when I had a scan this year again, so a year later from last year, December or 2020, I had a scan today, and it was, and I wasn't, of course, I was nervous and scared like always, but I had an idea that I've been pretty much following this way, right? And this is my idea. If I stay, here's my plan, right? If I stay in a ketogenic or a low carbohydrate kind of way of living, or just way of life generally rather, I think that's going to help me with cancer. Things I've read shows that it helps. And I think it's going to help just because it's going to keep you healthier. And if you're healthier, that's going to help you against cancer anyway. So that's why, if ketogenic lifestyle or the carnivore lifestyle, it started out as ketogenic, right? Started out paleo, then it went to ketogenic, then it went to the carnivore. Who knows after that? Maybe a carnivore and berries. It's kind of the same idea, but I think what's doing well for me, and I know deep down what's working for me, is the fact that I'm not having sugar and breads and grains in my diet on a regular basis. Now that might mean that if I didn't overdo it before, I wouldn't feel the way I am. Maybe, I don't know. But if I don't have it on a regular basis, and on a regular basis, I have meats and fats, animal protein, animal fat, animal organs, nutrient dense food, and I have that on a regular basis, I feel the best that I've ever felt. I perform the best I've ever performed. I perform the best I've ever performed. I'm 43 years old. I'm not saying I performed better relative to when I was 19. I performed better than when I was 19. I guarantee you I'm faster and stronger than when I'm 19. Like, it's crazy. I'm not as big, and maybe I can't lift as much weight, so I haven't dedicated much time to stuff like that. Sure, and maybe certain things I'm out of practice, but it's crazy. So because I feel this way, because what I'm doing is making me feel this way, it's giving me the fuel to keep on going. So I had my test today. I drove to London. The weather was shit tea, by the way. Drove to London, got my blood work done. I'm always chatting up with the people there, as always. So boring for those people. I feel bad for them. And I know, I get it. They're there. Sometimes it's swamped. Sometimes it's completely empty in there. today was one of those days where it seemed like the rush kind of just passed, and it was very slow right now. So when I went in, so it was like 9 o'clock. So I went in and got my blood work done. Great. Got the ultrasound done. They spend a heck of a lot more time on this side than they do on the left side, but they did the ultrasound. It was great. The technician was awesome, super nice. Boom. I went home. I drove home. I got home around noon. Half an hour ago, doctor called. Just before that, I got a call into work tomorrow, which was great. So I got a shift tomorrow. But the doctor called me, and they're like, a doctor that's replacing my doctor right now, because my doctor's on vacation, and just kind of checking in on the clinic, looking at my notes, looking at my history, looking at everything, and chatting with me. And he's like, okay, well, the blood work is very stable. Thyroid globulin hasn't changed at all. Your TSH, your thyroid stimulating hormone. So my TSH is suppressed still, which is good. The idea of what they want to do is that they want to suppress your TSH. Now, a TSH is one of those things that if you have high thyroid or low thyroid, you've had your TSH checked. Okay, this is different. My TSH in this case, they want it suppressed because that if it's suppressed, that stimulate. If it's suppressed, they hope that would inhibit tumor growth. Because if it's not suppressed and your TSH gets too high or higher elevated, that's a signal to your thyroid to make more thyroid hormones. Since I don't have a thyroid hormone, since I don't have a thyroid, but I still have some probably remnants of thyroid tissue left, they wouldn't want that to stimulate the tumor growth. Okay, so TSH is good, all my numbers are good, and then he's like, ultrasound, haven't seen the images back yet, or the final numbers yet, but the numbers that the technician put in there, it looks like it's very stable and it's grown 1 millimeter. So 1 millimeter in a year is awesome. Awesome in my eyes, and the doctor too. And I had to make sure that I wasn't just crazy. Like I have to make sure that I'm not just super optimistic, because I'm an optimistic person. And if you tell me you're going to get sick, I'm going to say, I'm going to get sick, but then I'll be better. Right. Or I'll say, I'm going to get sick for a minute, like for a second, that's kind of just the way I am, because we have to get over things. We have to get better. We have to get back to a state of health, because we have people, we have family, we have friends, we have our children, we have life to experience. We have life to live and to spread love. We have to do that. So we have to stay alive. We have to stay healthy. Right. So I get that. But I had to ask the doctor if I was just delusional. I'm like, okay, doc, this is what I'm doing. I don't want to have surgery. I didn't want to have surgery before, and I still don't want to have surgery. Here's my reasoning. I don't think it's growing very aggressively. It's not impeding my health at all, I don't think, because if I feel like I'm in the best health of my life, well, then how can this be impeding me? I don't know, right? It's not growing. It's not very aggressive. It's not an aggressive kind. And otherwise, I'm doing really well. I said, tell me I'm not crazy, but if I'm crazy, tell me. And I said this to the doctor. I'm like, does this make sense to you? And he quite honestly just really mimicked the same things I said. He's like, it's not aggressive. It's not moving. It doesn't seem to be growing, fast. It's, 1 millimeter is nothing to be alarmed of at all. And he quite honestly said, it wouldn't be the worst decision at all to just keep on monitoring it. And when a doctor tells you that, that's pretty good, right? Especially if I was started on the other end, and this is just my opinion, but I started from the other end going, I don't want surgery. Heck with that. I'm going to just kill it with keto, whatever. Even if I don't kill it with keto, but I keep it growing at 1 millimeter per year, oh my God, or less, or whatever the case may be. But like, so if the tumor is 1.7 centimeters, not that big, I guess, but it grew 1 millimeter in a year, and it grew 3 millimeters in a couple of years before that. Maybe it's slowing down. I don't know. Maybe it goes in fluxes. Maybe I have nothing to do with it. Maybe what I do doesn't change a thing. But it was one of those things where I got this call and I'm talking to the doctor, and not just that my actions have been validated, or maybe not even that my actions have been validated, but I feel like it's nice to have a doctor now also agree with what I'm doing, I guess, or also agree that it seems to be okay. That's all I want to know. That's all life is. He's not going to give me a perfect answer. I'm never going to find a perfect answer. You can research all you want. You can read every single study, double-blind procedure. You can read any study. They're never going to tell you your 100% chance of success if you do this, or if you're, what I mean? So if you feel like you're doing something good, and not only are your feelings making you think like it's right, but also these exterior scales or measurements, right? If it also seems like it's a good idea, well, then I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. I was going to keep on doing what I'm doing anyway, to be quite honest, unless the doctor said it grew 5 centimeters or grew whatever. But honestly, I would feel something. I haven't felt anything still to this day. I don't even know where it is. I don't really know where it is. I feel like it may be over here, but I have, you know, you feel your neck, you feel stuff all over. I don't know. Was it a muscle? Is it I don't know what it is, right? So I feel good. I don't have any pain. I don't have any more pain than anybody else has, but I probably have less pain than other people too. I have a lot less pain than other people. Like I said, my joints are great. I feel good. I sleep well. I'm happy. I'm happy and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my friends, my family, and going to London Hospital. Every time I go there, I tell my family on the way back, almost in tears. I'm like, I'm so thankful. My girls, my wife, I'm so thankful that we're healthy. I'm so thankful that we're out of the hospitals, or we're not in hospitals all the time, and we're not in a constant state of worrying and just, I don't know, just that constant stress, right? There's a lot of people who are sick, and my heart goes out to you. And I don't know, this advertisement for Fats Radio, but like, this is helping me. This has helped me get to a point where now I feel like it's gonna keep on helping me, I think, forever. I hope. It's gonna change, of course. It's gonna evolve. I have to change. I have to evolve what I'm doing. But you know, when I said to the doctor, I said, for what it's worth, I mean, this is what I'm doing. I eat virtually, you know, no carbs or very low carbs, very low sugar on a regular basis, ketogenic, you know, even basically a carnivore diet. I eat a lot of meat. I eat a lot of liver, high, you know, nutritious food. I exercise. I'm doing what I'm doing, right? Like, what do you think? He's like, well, it's not hurting you. Okay. Well, that's his way of saying, I don't know, what do you want me to say, right? You know, but it's not hurting me. And in fact, I think that this is helping me. It must be helping me, because what's the opposite, or what's the alternative? Alternative, it could be eating like crap all the time, drinking like crap all the time, smoking like crap all the time, being sedentary. Seems completely different. It seems completely opposite. And there's no shit that is going to have a completely opposite outcome. So I understand why a lot of people won't think sometimes, or oftentimes won't think, just by changing your diet, you can't change your lifestyle, or you can't change your outcome on even a disease, or even an illness, or something that is considered a disease, right? Well, maybe you can. Maybe you can. And I'm not saying that I'm doing that, but hopefully I am. There's no proof that I'm doing it, but there is proof that I'm alive. There's proof that I'm thriving. I'm 43 years old. I feel like $1 million. Not every day, but often I do feel like $1 million. I never wanted to say that when I was 20. I never felt like saying that when I was 30. Are you kidding me? If I felt like that when I was 20 years old, I would have told you, believe me. But I didn't feel amazing. I didn't feel amazing when I was 30. I didn't feel amazing when I was 40. 40 is when I probably started changing things, I guess, maybe before that. But it'd be definitely before that. 2013, I had the surgery. I even started the low sugar thing just before the surgery, and right after the surgery, I was definitely on a paleo kind of a kick then. But keto, 2015, 2016, that summer, or that winter rather, the weight started coming off. And it's not just the weight, it's the inflammation, it's the joints. It's inflammation is bad for everything, right? Cancer included. It's bad for everything. And I'm healthy, right? Especially when maybe it's not an episode dedicated about COVID or anything, but this makes me think about it. This really makes me thinking about, I haven't been concerned about COVID at all. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just telling you what it is. Haven't been concerned about COVID at all. Maybe because I'm concerned about cancer, maybe because I'm concerned about all the other shit in the world, but I understand that COVID is there, and I have concern about it from at a certain level, I guess, but I haven't been overly concerned, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because this is how I feel. If you're going to stay healthy in life, if you're going to stay healthy, and if you, I haven't had a cold, and I can't remember when the last time I had a cold. It has to be a couple years. Maybe my voice has maybe been raspy a couple times over the couple of years, a couple seasons, third season now, right? But I haven't, like, I don't know. And I'm not hovering over vaporizers all day. Well, maybe I've had vaporizers, but different kind of vaporizers. So I don't have a cold very often, ever, very often. Like I said, in the last couple of years. And if I'm not, I think that what I'm doing is helping cancer. And I think that what I'm doing is fighting cancer, then you're damn sure I'm going to think that what I'm doing is going to fight COVID or any other illness. Any other illness, because you can die of cancer, of course. People die of cancer every day. Do people die of COVID? Of course. People die of diabetes? Of course. People die of heart attack and stroke and all these other issues? Yes, of course they do. So let's attack it all. Let's get our health better. Let's just fix our health. Okay, that was the episode. Good news. It's good news, folks. It's good news. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. I'm going to bang my drum. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. The last thing he said to me is, well, it hasn't really changed much since 2019. That's good, right? That's good. That's 2 years. Next time I see the doctor or for scans and everything are going to be this summer, which is summer 2021, I guess. Excuse me. Yeah, I said I don't have a cold. Now I'm coughing. But anyway, next time I see the doctor is going to be 2020. Not 2020, 2021, which is the summer, August. Anyway, folks, I love you all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the love. Whoever messaged me and says, thinking about me or whatever. Thank you. But don't worry about me. I'm good. I'm strong. I'm stronger than ever. It's sometimes I feel weird because I have an association with myself with cancer and I don't even know how to say this, but sometimes I feel weird because cancer is with my name, of course, because I'm thinking about it and I have it and I'm dealing with it. But because I'm not sick with it and I don't feel like it's ever going to make me sick. I mean, tell you that cancer's not going to kill me. I'm not being arrogant, but I won't let it. I try not to let it. And that's what I have in my mind. Right. But because of that, sometimes I don't feel like I have a right to speak on behalf of people that have cancer because I'm very fortunate still. And I don't know, maybe that's just my own issue. I got to deal with that. But I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for all cancer patients or any cancer patients. I'm just speaking for myself, not even as a cancer patient, just as a person who's trying to do what the fuck he's trying to do because I think it's best. I'm trying it and I feel like it's best. Sometimes I get a little excited, but that's who I am. It's not the cancer that makes me excited. That's for sure. Anyway, thanks. I love you all. Peace.